Hey guys, what's up? Destroyer here and welcome back to World of Tanks. Today we have two games for you in the 113. The lower alpha but faster tier 10 Chinese heavy tank. So today we are on Lakeville for our first game with a pretty nice matchup. Top tier 357, E100 on the enemy team, but either way it should be pretty good. Now at the start I'm not going city just because I realised looking at the team lineup, especially since there's only one artillery, if I was to be pretty aggressive over this side I would be able to win it out, especially since the E100 on the other team, I've actually played with that player a few times and know that they're the sort of person that will probably push this side of map. Already just take a shot that I really shouldn't have from that 5120 and then put one into the 54E1, just aims for just under the gun there and put that one in nicely. T54E1 armor can be a bit tricky, and as you can see I was right, the E100 has come over here, so I don't even bother shooting with AP, just loading the heat, and then I'm like, alright, you know what, screw it, 54E1 is probably unloaded, just gonna fully aim and, you know, put heat into the 5120. 46 Korea goes in there, E100 fires, and I'm like, right, if we all go, so I pinged the VK to follow, if we all go now, this is gonna work out pretty well. So finish off the 54E1 with a nice high roll there, and then we start playing with the E100. So he shoots the VK100 behind me, so I'm gonna come out here. That one went into the radar bar on the top of the E100 there. So he turns his turret, put another one into the cheek, and then I get a nice ram from the VK100 behind me, but E100 puts another one into him anyway. Put one into the E100's lower plate, and what I haven't really noticed here, and I probably should have turned around, is that I thought the rest of my team would keep pushing in and would just farm this guy, so I try and reverse side scrape there, but I wasn't angling enough to bounce the heat off the side. Anyway, put another heat shell into the turret cheeks of the E100, and then I'm like, right, not trusting my team to finish this guy off, and then put a heat shot in there just after he dies. So meanwhile, while I've done 4,000 damage here, everyone else on the team that wasn't over here has died, and a whole bunch of people that were over here have died as well, as we put one into the E50 there, aiming at the turret cheeks, which since semi-recently, the HD model of the E50 and E50M actually nerfed the turret a bit by making the gun mantlet smaller, so it's a pretty easy tank to pen. Now, anyway, heat into the side there, but loading the AP since I noticed that this pattern's out in the open. You can bounce him. Scorpion G up the back bounces off me as well. Notice that he fires. E50M gets a shot in, but I put one into the pattern. Artie shoots at me, so now I've got a bit of time now, and unfortunately we've been completely wrecked everywhere else. So 6,300 damage done in not even 4 minutes. I think that's 6,700, and it's already the best part of game over. So at this point we probably could still win until the Scorpion G is round on such a good flanking position on me. Now I load back to heat here because I don't really want to bounce any shots because of stupid reasons. So put another heat one into the E50's turret there. That shot might not have penned with AP, either way. So I get rushed here. Angle for the Scorpion G, he bounces, E50 rushes me though. Puts one in, and then I try and reload and put one into him, but don't quite manage to. So that's GG there. Well, Grill 15 still left, but that's the end of our game, and probably the end of the grill as well. So unfortunate that it had to end there, as if this game went on longer and I didn't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks, maybe 7, on me by myself, I probably could have taken this out and would have been a really nice game. However, don't always get what you want. So anyway, so now we'll go and take a look at the second game. Alright, so here we are with the second game. As you can see, this time we're on Fjords in top tier 510. So once again, pretty good matchmaking. Fjords is a nice map for this tank because it lets you use the armor and mobility in a good way. So pushing up over to this sort of area to start with. I know, never really been a fan of going down here. It removes you from the fighting and is just a corner fight, so you know it's alright if you're in a mouse or a Type 5 heavy, or I don't know, Panzer 100, but other than that it can be a whole lot of not much fun. Anyway, so platooned up with RKK 1945 from Relic 2. He's in the TVP, just going down here to hopefully get some farm across to there. So I'm up here with this AMX 30 and 46 pattern, and I'm kind of like, do I go in, do I not? And then I'm like, oh well, what could possibly go wrong? So I'm like, probably gonna meet the IS-7, maybe the 907. I don't know, it looks like 907's been spotted in mid. But definitely there are a lot of tanks that could potentially be up here. I'm just looking around and watching the map right now because I've seen how many tanks are in the middle here, and I'm like, that's a really good opportunity for me to get a lot of damage in and win a very key part of the map, because once you control the middle on Fjords, you can then push these guys here, you can push through around there, you can push around there, but that's not really going to work because an Emil 2, an E50 and an RU-251 have just turned up over here. So this is going to be a pretty tough fight, because that's probably not all there is. So Emil 2's up, coming over here, not much point even snapping a shot at that. That thing's turret weak spots are so small. Maybe if I loaded heat and I got a high pen roll I could go through. So M46 pattern makes a mistake of pushing into hold down auto loading tier 9 Swedish heavy tank, and I come up here and really that was not the best idea, so blow my repair kit, not willing to, just because like it's alright to push up but not on the angle I was. So put one into the RU there because he trade peeks out there, and that's not a trade that's going to work out for him, and that RU is a key tank to take out because tanks on your flank are not tanks you want to deal with. So go for the Leopard 1's track because he exposes it. You know, anything I can do to slow down the push of these guys is good, because you know it's just me and this one-shot pattern here now. Got to be really careful. This guy doesn't track me and clip me out. So right here I was kind of like, god damn it. You know, this guy gets, unfortunately for him, fortunately for me, he low rolls 3 times and then tracks me. But then I get some nice bounces. The great armor of this tank really showing off. Quick snapshot there into the RU with heat. You know, not the right ammunition choice, but once again I'm not going to reload. RK comes over here and attempts to clip them out, but you know, Skoda doesn't have the best penetration and he's not in the best position, so that doesn't work out too well for him. Alright, just putting some nice ones into the Emil 2 there, because you know, once again, once you get that tank, when you get that tank's hull on flat ground, it is just cheese. So once again, showing off the not so good turret armor of the E50 there, putting, I think that was a heat round into him. So instead of going and chasing a 1 health RU that has a Leopard 1 going after, I decided to turn around, go back to the mid, deal with all those tanks there. So we're at 4,448 damage, blocked some damage. That game definitely could have been over pretty quick, you know, bounced a fair bit of stuff there. But you know, we were in a pretty good position, and we did have the fear factor that the 113 carries with that nice alpha, so they didn't really want to be too aggro because they knew they'd lose their health. you know, if the four or five tanks that were there had pushed me, that would have gone very differently. So snap an AP shell there, seeing if I can get the 907, and turns out A, that their Skoda is sniping from here, and B, that the IS-7 is firing HE. So I'm kind of like, don't really want to take this engagement because, you know, it's a hold down IS-7. I can't really do damage to him unless he makes a terrible mistake, but he can easily just, what, 3 or 4 shot me here, depending on the HE rolls he gets. So, you know, the Striv finishes off our E100. I wasn't paying attention right then, but it looked like he might have been there, so you know, it's safe to assume that the Striv is somewhere here. Just moving around here, hoping that someone might spot the IS-7 and that I can deal with him, and then I'm like, you know what, screw it. IS-7's looking in the other direction, but right now that 907's a better target to shoot at because, you know, we can finish him off. Turns out it doesn't matter whether I shot him there or not, he'd end up dead because that was a Yeg Panzer 100. For a second there, I thought that IS-7 was actually facing the other way, but turned out he was facing my way and he had HE loaded, so that didn't go too well. Snap that shot with heat, goes into the ground. I don't want to peek out here because I know the Striv is just going to farm. That was a pretty bad shot there. Missed, went way in front of him as he kept backing up. But it looks like IS-7's running away now, so I will happily put one into the back of him, reloading another AP shell this time. And there we go. Getting another 507 in that really nice alpha and reload of the 113 coming into play there. So now it's just the Striv and, you know, 122mm gun, so if we hit the lower plate or the top, we'll deal with him. And, you know, being a Striv, it is just cleaning up low health tanks as they push in. That was 3 kills in quick succession there. But we put one into his side and is tracked, and, you know, and there's the TVP as well. So, you know, this game could have gone very differently if the TVP hadn't camped base, because, you know, especially in matchmaking like this, a tier 10 auto-loading medium can make a lot of difference. As we finish that guy off, all that's left now is the artillery, and we're probably not going to get him. But we will see, maybe. Leopard 1 looks like he might get there first. But no, we managed to make that shot, somehow. Not quite sure. Anyway. So there we go. 7,071 damage in the 113. And apparently I can not zoom out. So this is how we will end this. So go take a look at the post-game stats for both of these games. Alright, so as you can see, that first game was a third class, especially considering it was a loss. Did get the high caliber, which gives us the courageous resistance, I think, or not, apparently. For the 7,840 damage, we racked up in that very short 4 minutes and 30 seconds that we were alive, so yeah, that shows off the DPM. Now, as for why we lost this game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks did 0 damage, 1 shot of damage, 1 shot of damage, 2 shots of damage, 3 shots of damage, 3 shots of damage, 6 shots of damage, apparently small gun, 2 shots of damage, and 2 shots of damage. So that was not necessarily because those players are bad, but because they got cleaned up quickly, which just didn't allow our team to put out the amount of damage we needed to win that game. So that's that. Now for the second game, as you can see, the first class got the gun mark as well. For the 7,071 damage, 3 kills, 1,249 base XP. Yeah. Anyway, so thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.